I'm JasonRobinhood, and these are the stocks of the day for Thursday, February 10th, 2022. Okay, so it is currently 3:54 p.m. here in Las Vegas, Thursday, February 10th, 2022, and we are going to go over the stocks of the day. Unfortunately, a negative day for all three of the major indexes today. The Dow Jones was down 526 points, currently trading at 35,241. The S&P 500 was down 83 points, currently trading at 4,504. The NASDAQ 100 was down 304 points, currently trading at 14,185. The VIX is currently trading at a 23 handle. That was plus 3% from yesterday. The 10-year actually hit above the 2% mark today. Finally, for the first time in a very long time, the 10-year is actually above the 2 point. It's currently at 2.033. So we jumped a lot today in the 10-year. And let's see where the Bitcoin is currently trading at. Bitcoin is actually having a negative day just like everything else. And Bitcoin is actually down over $600 today, currently trading down to 43,000. In this series, we go over the top 5 performance stocks from each of the 3 major indexes. So we normally go over 15 to 16 stocks. So I think this series is helpful for long-term and short-term / day traders. The first 5 stocks we're going to go over are for the Dow Jones. Unfortunately, the Dow Jones was down 526 points today, so we can only find 4 stocks that were actually positive. The first stock for the best performance stocks in the Dow Jones is ticker symbol DIS. As you can see, Disney was up 3.35% today. It's giving back 0.25% in the after hours market. Disney is actually doing pretty bad year over year, down 20.11%. I believe the Dow Jones is up maybe about 10%, right? You could say 10 to maybe 5 to 10%. So you would say Disney is underperforming the Dow Jones by about 30%. If you're looking for a high in the stock, it looks like that happened around a month from now, last year, March 8th, and that was $201 a share. Currently trading $50 below that, $151 a share. But Disney, for the past 5 years, if you've been a long-term investor, Disney is up 38.08%, and Disney does not pay a dividend. Next stock for the best performance stocks in the Dow Jones is ticker symbol BA, Boeing. Boeing was up 1.35%, 34% today, It has not given any of that back in the after hours market. That is a pretty good sign. Boeing is actually only up 1% in the past year. That's pretty choppy line. But if you're looking for the highs in this stock, that looks like that happened around March 12, 2021, and that was $269 a share, right? And we're currently trading at $218 a share. And for the past 5 years, if you've been a long-term investor in Boeing, Boeing has returned 34.71%. Boeing does not pay a dividend. Unfortunately, Boeing does not pay a dividend. Next stock for the best performance stocks in the Dow Jones is ticker symbol KO, Coca-Cola. Wow, as you can see, Coca-Cola almost gave back what it gained in the after hours. Coca-Cola gained 0.56% today, but it gave back almost 0.25% back in the after hours market, 0.24% in the after hours market. People were selling this stock. I think we had even more bad news in the after hours market. All major indexes we sold, not at the lows of the day, but we sold heading closer to the lows of the day than the highs. We sold off 500 points on the Dow Jones. But either way, Coca-Cola is actually up 21.46%. So it's basically double the Dow Jones performance year over year. That's a pretty good performance for Coca-Cola. I'm surprised I'm not following Coca-Cola. Let me add it to my watch list just to have it there. I believe it pays a dividend. But Coca-Cola for the past 5 years, if you've been a long-term investor in Coca-Cola, Coca-Cola has returned 47.44% on the upside. And Coca-Cola pays a 2.75% dividend. I thought this dividend would be higher than that, but it's not bad, especially for a company that has returned 47.44% the past 5 years, basically averaging basically a 10% return every year. That's not bad at all. And the last stock we're going to go over, because we can only find 4 positive stocks in the Dow Jones today, is ticker symbol MRK, Merck. Merck was up 0.04%. It has not given any of that back in the after hours market, basically barely up, only 3 cents it was up on the day. Merck is actually only up 1% year over year. As you can see, the stock market is having a pretty bad time. I can't say we're in a bear market, but if this is a bull market, this is a interesting bull market. But Merck for the past 5 years has only returned plus 19%, 19.75%. It looks like it's having a lot of trouble getting above this $91 mark. And it looks like before it even gets to $91, that $85 mark seems like a problem. $86, 84, 85, 83, 88. Obviously, the next $10 in this stock you want to keep an eye on. If you can get above that $91, you'll be in a bull market. And Merck does pay a 3.45% dividend. So those were the top. Those were the best performing stocks in the Dow Jones. Only 4 stocks were positive in the Dow Jones. As I mentioned, the Dow Jones was down 526 points. Currently trading at 35,241. Obviously, we want to keep an eye on those 241 points for tomorrow. If we have another day like this, we'll be trading down to 34,000 on the Dow Jones. We want to stay above the 35,000 and hopefully head back to 36,000. Next stocks we're going to go over are the best performing stocks for the S&P 500. First stock is ticker symbol MU. Micron Technology. Micron Technology was up 3.29% today. Gave a tiny back in the after hours market, 0.13%. But for the past year, Micron is up 8.21%. I believe the S&P 500 is up maybe 10 to 15%. Basically, Micron is basically trading in line for the most part, maybe a little bit under Micron by under the S&P 500, maybe by 5%. But for the long-term investors, if you've held this stock for the past 5 years, Micron has returned 270.57% to the upside. But Micron does pay a 0.23% dividend. I did not know that, but Micron does pay a dividend. Next stock for the best performing stocks in the S&P 500 is ticker symbol K, Kellogg's, the cereal company. As you can see, Kellogg's had a good day, even though the rest of the stock market was pretty negative. Kellogg's was up 3.11%, has not given any of that back in the after hours market. Kellogg's is only up 9% the past year. If you're looking for the highs in the stock, that looks like that happened around May 11th, May 10th. That was $68 a share. So the next $5 you want to pay attention to if you can get above that $69 a share mark. But for the past 5 years, if you've been a long-term investor in Kellogg, you've actually lost 13.09% of your money. And Kellogg's does pay a 3.75% dividend. Next stock for the best performing stocks in the S&P 500 is ticker symbol IFF, International Flavors and Fragrances. Ticker symbol IFF was up 2.87% today. It has not given any of that back in the after hours market. That is a good sign. IFF was only up 6.45% for the past year, so clearly underperforming the S&P 500. And IFF has actually only returned 15.63% for the past 5 years. If you're looking for a high in the stock, that looks like that happens around August 13th, 2021, and that price was $156 a share, currently trading at $136. Obviously, you want to keep an eye on this stock the next $20 to $21. And IFF does pay a 2.35% dividend. Next stock for the best performing stocks in the S&P 500 is ticker symbol ORLY. O'Reilly Auto Parts. O'Reilly Auto Parts was up 2.85% today. It has not given any of that back in the after hours market. That is a pretty good sign. Oh, wow. This is finally, we've seen a really good chart. This is probably the best chart we've seen, right? O'Reilly is up 44.19%. I have to add this to my watch list. This is just ridiculous. 44.19% in the past year. If you're looking for the high in the stock, that looks like that happened around December 29th, and that was $708 a share, currently trading at $658 a share. Obviously, you want to keep an eye on this stock the next $50. And for the past 5 years, a pretty strong chart, not much give back. Obviously, we all know why it fell back in 2020. But besides that, it looks like the stock has not really given back much in the past 5 years. It has returned plus 154.18% for the past 5 years for long-term investors. But it does not pay a dividend. Wow, this stock does not pay a dividend at all. Next stock for the best performance stocks in the S&P 500 is ticker symbol MCO. Moody's. Moody's was plus 2% today. It did not give any of that back in the after hours market. That is always a good sign. Moody's is up 23.33%, so it's clearly outperforming the S&P 500. If you're looking for the highs in the stock, that price was $406 a share, and that was October 28, 2021, about 3-4 months ago. So obviously you want to keep an eye on this stock the next $60 if it can get above that $406 a share. Moody's has actually returned plus, for long-term investors who've held this stock for past 5 years, plus 230.07%. I'm going to have to add this to my watch list also. Pretty strong chart. Definitely a good idea for maybe long-term investors. And Moody's does pay a 0.72% dividend. That's not a bad dividend for a $350 a share stock. So those were the top 5 performance stocks in the S&P 500. As I mentioned, the S&P 500 was negative 83 points today, currently trading at 4,504. Obviously, it's a pretty good sign that we did not trade below the 4,500 mark. We stopped almost to the penny. We stopped 4 points above 500 points. We obviously want to keep an eye on those next 4 points. If we could hold those 4 points, maybe we could trade back up to 4,600. If not, we could be talking about trading down to 4,400 on the S&P 500. And the last 5 stocks we're going to go over for the NASDAQ 100. As I mentioned, the NASDAQ 100 was down 304 points today, but we did find 5 winners. First stock for the best performance stocks in the NASDAQ 100 is ticker symbol DDOG, Datadog. As you can see, Datadog was plus 12.28% today. It gave back 0.18% in the after hours market. Datadog is actually up 47.07% in the past year, clearly outperforming the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ is only up maybe 5 to 10%. I think it's 0 to 5% actually. And NASDAQ has really underperformed the market. So I'm going to say the NASDAQ is up 0 to 5%. So Datadog is clearly doing basically like 10 times what the market is doing right now. But if you're looking for a higher in the stock, that happened around November 9th. And that price was $196 a share, Currently trading at $173 a share. Obviously, you want to keep an eye on the next $20, $23, $24 in this stock if you want to get into it. And if you've been a long-term investor in this stock kind of recently IPO'd in 2019, and it's up a lot basically. It doesn't say a percentage. I can't really do the math, but it IPO'd around $35, $32 a share, and now it's currently trading at $173 a share. That's a pretty good return. As you can see, I currently have 2 shares of Datadog, and Datadog does not pay a dividend. Datadog does not pay a dividend. DDOG, best performance stock in the NASDAQ 100. Next stock for the best performance stocks in the NASDAQ 100 is ticker symbol TEAM. Team, ticker symbol Team, was up 3.15%. It has not given any of that back in the after hours market. That is a really, really good sign. Team is actually up 38.84%. If you're looking for the highs in the stock, that happened around October 28, 2021. That price was $458 a share. We're currently trading at $346 a share. Obviously, you want to keep an eye on the next $112, $113 in this stock. Wow, this stock. How do I not have it? Why do I not have this stock? It's unbelievable. But if you've been a long-term investor in this stock has actually returned plus 1,138.05%. If you were happy to be lucky and bought this stock 5 years ago, from all the things we have gone through in the past 5 years, February in 2017, if you bought 30 shares, or if you bought a share, each share would have cost $30 a share, currently trading at $340 a share. Clearly 10 times your money would have been earned basically in 5 years. That's a very, very good return. But Team does not pay a dividend. Next stock for the best performance stocks in the NASDAQ 100 is ticker symbol PDD, Pinduoduo. Wow. This is only up, this is barely up. Pinduoduo was barely up 1.48% today. It gave back 0.38% in the after hours market, more than a quarter in the after hours market, and that's not a good sign. Oh my god, this is a terrible chart. This chart is ugly. Pinduoduo is actually down 68.03%. Oh my goodness, it's terrible. But somehow this stock is actually still up 154.95% in the past 5 years. If you're looking for a high in this stock, that looks like that happened basically last year, February 12th, around this time last year, February 12th. And that stock this stock was trading at $196 a share last year at this time. It's currently trading at $62, down $130 a share. And PDD does not pay a dividend. PDD does not pay a dividend. Next stock for the best performance stocks in the NASDAQ 100 is ticker symbol ABND. Airbnb. Oh, Airbnb looks like they had a pretty good day today. Airbnb was plus 1.43% today, and people were still buying this stock in the after hours market, 0.91% in the after hours market. That is a pretty good sign in a red tape day like today. Oh, never mind. But Airbnb is actually down 15.55%. It looks like it bounces at this $131 a share mark. Like it can't break that 132. And over here was, what number is that? 138. So you have to keep an eye on that 138, 130 price tag on this stock. That's around the lows. And if you're looking for the highs in this stock, it looks like that happened November of last year, $207 a share. Maybe it would have been higher. Maybe, let me see, last year, maybe February of last year, actually around this time last year, that was $212 a share. Currently trading down to $175 a share. Obviously, you want to keep an eye on the next $40, $50 in this stock. If it could get above that, you are back in a bull market. But Airbnb does not pay a dividend. Airbnb does not pay a dividend. And the last stock we're going to go over for the best performing stocks in the NASDAQ 100 is ticker symbol MAR, Marriott International. Marriott International was up 0.66% today. It did not give any of that back in the after hours market. Marriott International is up 37.47% in the past year, clearly outperforming the NASDAQ 100 by 25-30%, if not even more, maybe 25 to 30%. And Marriott International is basically trading at its highs for the past year and for the past 5 years. So you got to keep an eye on that number. This number right now is currently at its 5-year high. I don't know if it's all-time high, but it's currently trading at its chart high that we have for the year in the past 5 years. And if you've been a long-term investor in Marriott International has returned 104.40% in the past 5 years. And Marriott International pays a 0.36% dividend. This is another stock. I don't know why I don't have shares of this. I should buy this stock. Pretty good stock. So those were the best performing stocks in the NASDAQ 100 today. As I mentioned, the NASDAQ 100 today was negative 304 points, currently trading at 14,185. Obviously, we want to keep an eye on those 185 points tomorrow. If we can't hold those 185 points tomorrow, and we have another day like today when we're down 300 points, we could be trading down to 13,000 in the NASDAQ 100. That could be a problem. After 13, can we go down to 12, 11, 10? And we don't even want to talk about 9. That's just ridiculous. But hopefully we can hold those 185 points tomorrow and then trade back up to 15,000. I'm Jason Robinhood. Did you discover any new stocks in this video? Do you have any great performance stocks in your portfolio you would like to recommend to myself or the other viewers of this video? I'm Jason Robinhood. These were the stocks of the day for Thursday, February 10th, 2022. Stay long in the stock market.